Hello and welcome to this World of Warcraft add-on spotlight. This week we're going to be taking a look at MikScrollingBattleText. As always, a download for this add-on can be found in the video description below. Now, what this add-on does is it tracks pretty much all the procs that you get, as you can see in the top of the screen, and the current damage that you're dealing to the right hand side of the screen. Also to the left hand side you will also have things like heals incoming and outgoing. This is kind of like the default Blizzard way of the default damage and healing text that Blizzard's implemented, but I prefer this one. It's a lot more customizable and you can set it up how you want it to work. We will now take a look at the configuration for this add-on. In order to configure it, you can type /msbt into the chat box, or you can go through the interface options and open it up through there. MikScrollingBattleText has its own standalone configuration panels, as you can see here, and you're able to import your own sounds and fonts if you want those to be used. You can choose whether you want MikScrollingBattleText to be enabled or not, and you've also got a profiling system. You can also go through the master fonts and set what fonts you want to use. Say for example I wanted Porky to be my normal font and Ginkgo to be my crit font. Whenever I crit it'd look like Ginkgo, and my normal font would look Porky. It's pretty cool. You can also set these up. I've never used this, so I'm not 100% sure what it does. And you can also set damage colors. So, say I'm an arcane mage. Most of my, all of my damage is going to be arcane, obviously. That'll come up as pink, but I can change that to be red if I want it to. You can also set individual class colors, but again, I'm not really too bothered about that. Now if you want to set up the scrolling areas, you go to the scroll areas option and you can configure them. Now the notifications area is like procs. Incoming would obviously be heals, and outgoing is obviously the damage you've done. And that's just happened. Cool. Now you can configure the different scrolling areas. So if I wanted to configure the incoming one, I can set what animation I want. Say for example straight, and I can preview that. I can set the direction I want it to display, so if I wanted it to come in downwards, you can set that up. You can also set the behaviors of it, but there's nothing much to do there, so if you want it to jiggle or if you just want it to be normal. And you can also set the alignment of it, which is also pretty cool. Okay, if we go back to the normal configuration, you can show what events you want to have shown in the battle text. So I've just got everything enabled. It takes some time to configure everything to how you want it to work. There's a lot of things to configure. You can also choose what procs you want to have shown, which would obviously appear at the top section, and that's under the triggers. And you can also set a spam control. So if you're, say, like a tank, and for some reason you're using MikScrollingBattleText, you can limit the amount of heals that you get shown, but you'll still get healed, obviously. So it's just so your screen doesn't get cluttered with everything, and it can be used as an excuse for you standing in the fire. You can also have all your cooldowns shown. So for example, if I used Presence of Mind, which has a 1.5 minute cooldown, in 1.5 minutes it would show up in this top area here and it would say Presence of Mind now available. You can also set this up for pets. There's also, this is kind of moving off the in-combat options now and looking at loot items. You can also have like loot that you've received and also money gains, and you can also display like the rarity of the item. Finally, if we move on to skill icons, here, this is, if you look over to the right now, you get a skill icon. So for Arcane Blast I've got the one scrolling down there. If I disable that, it no longer comes up, it just says Arcane Blast instead, and say Arcane Missiles is cast, Arcane Missiles will come through. So yeah, that's the configuration for this add-on. It's a really good add-on if you're into raiding, or you could also use it for PvP. It's just preference. As always, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel for future World of Warcraft related videos.